All right, guys, I have my base dry fit. I had to move my wall over a little bit, unfortunately, but I've got that all tacked back in and perfectly level. I had to, so my drain was just a ½ inch too far to the left. So I moved my wall and now I'm, ½ inch off this wall to the right. So before I tackle that, I'm gonna put in my middle support for the glue to hold my shower panel in. I'll get these done and then we'll chalk some lines, horizontal lines. And I don't know, I'm thinking about, because I have all these extra leftover PTs. I've got a lot of leftover wood that I can run, but I think instead of doing this whole wall, I'm just going to shim where this panel will be and I'll trim around it. I just think that's probably the best way to go about it. Definitely the easiest way to go about it. I mean, to be honest, it'll give a little shelf up top. I can make the shelf a little bit wider, but the front will be, a ½ inch piece of trim covering over the sheetrock that'll bump up against it instead of going over it. So that's just what I'm going to do. It's just what I'm going to do. So let's put in the shims, these blocking and shims together. And then we can start working on putting in the base. I mean, it's sitting down. I just got it dry fit. But we do have to attach the pipe and lay mastic. Instead of doing tubes of power grab, I'm just going to use the rest of my bucket of thin set I have. I've got maybe a quarter of that bucket left, and it's just tile adhesive is all it is. And so I'll get rid of that tile adhesive and use it for this, because you're supposed to trowel it, I'd probably need like 4 tubes, which is $25. It's probably more along the lines of $30 when I already have that, and I got to get rid of it because it's getting old. So it's perfect. It says to trowel it with your tile trowel. So we'll do that once we have all of our nailers in and everything's good. Where this moved forward, I moved this forward a little bit. And I moved the shower head. I had to go up with the shower head, so I had to put a longer mixing valve line that goes up to the head. I had to move that head about 3 inches higher because it was going to fall perfectly, absolutely perfect on my angle of the panel, and I don't want to drill right through that angle, so I went a little bit higher with it. I also filled in this portion because I was going to shim the whole wall, but to be honest, it's just not necessary. It's already plywooded, and the only thing that has to bump out is for where this panel hits. So I'll shim that out, and we'll drywall up too, and then we'll trim it over. We'll trim over it. So I mean, I don't know. I'll know more once I put the panels in, and if I want to continue shimming after that, then I will. I just want to see how it sits, because my house, there's trim around it as well. And I've trimmed around them, and I've had them direct to stud, but where we had to move the space over because the pipe was too far. Yeah, Yeah, the pipe was too far this way, to the left. It's best to just get this shimmed out. So here we go. I've already cut. These are just extras from ripping out my shower base. Of course, that's going to hit that. Looks like I got to notch that out of there. All right, we'll go high first. Well, looks like I need to cut these nailers a little more than I had originally hoped. But doesn't really matter. I live right here. I don't have to travel to work. I'm more than happy to make a cut. I don't even know if I got that fucking... Yep. It's been a long ride on this one. This job is... I'm not used to doing, all the I didn't do the electrical, but I was involved heavily in purchasing all of the equipment and drilling the holes and setting it up and figuring it out. And my electrician, I was going to hire him to just put the panel in over here, and I was going to run all this stuff. And he was like, hey, how's this? I have enough time next week. Let me come in and I'll take care of all this. And I had put my boxes where I wanted them and drilled all my holes. And I already had all the material. So it made it really easy for him. And I'm really happy that he did, because, now I know it's done right. I would have done it right to begin with. I've done it in both other apartments. But he offered a few things that I didn't know about, and he is the professional. So it's always best to keep safe and to have it done right, rather than try to save a couple grand and, have tragedies happen or just have it look like crap. So, but I did all the plumbing. I had a good friend from high school come up and do all the plumbing with me. I ran the PVC myself, and I ran this washing machine drain myself. But him and I re-roughed out the existing drain where it all connects. The whole house connects to the drain that goes to the septic. And then we ran all of this PVC here together. So, did a really good job. I'm really, really happy and proud to have him. Shout out to Jason Tebow, South Bristol, Maine. Tebow Heating and Plumbing. Tebow Heating and Plumbing. If you're ever near Rockland area, give Tebow Heating and Plumbing a call. Jason Tebow, out of South Bristol. And if you're ever up here in Addison, call Cloud9, Mr. Ryan Fletcher. He runs Cloud9 Electrical, and that he lives outside of Columbia Falls somewhere. But yeah, he services basically all of around this area, this side of Washington County, down East Maine. It's Cloud9, Ryan Fletcher. But yeah, back to it. Geez, that's got to come out quite a bit. Getting around these shims has been difficult, as you can see. A little bit more here. Now this is just a nailer for this corner, but for me, it's important to be there. Very important to be there. So we're gonna make sure we have a little bit extra wood, and I am just winging it, to be honest. To me, it doesn't have to look pretty, and I've already shimmed this out, and this pokes out, you see. So I could cut that out and just put a new board in. I probably should. I probably would have been done by now, but my dumb ass hasn't done that. So here we go. This is what you see. What you see is what you get. I'm just going to use my trim gun. And what I'll do, I'll throw the ones away. Well, don't throw them away, but I'll set the ones aside and I'll start using the twos. I'll bring out some twos. I got some 1.5s, but that's the great thing about a trim gun. So many different sizes of nails. You know, you can really do almost anything with it. Right now, my biggest concern is getting these square. That's my biggest concern, is making sure it doesn't bump out any more than I want it to. Turn that on. Turn on the auto shoot. Okay. Driver. You know, it's crazy. When you try to get ahead, if you ever hurry, it's like you're destined to fail. You know? So my advice, if you're ever doing work, don't try to hurry. Don't think that you can get things done faster, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to be going about half the speed that you had originally wished. Now that's unfortunate, but it's true. I've had to deal with that most of the time. That is exactly true. Ooh, would you look at that? That one shapes up. Again, this is just a nailer. It's a nailer so that when I come in with my panel, it'll adhere right. So the thing is my panel stops right there, right? And then my side panel will come in and go in against it. So that needed to be a little wider than that. Now I'm going to split the difference here and put middle blocking. $14 and a half. $13 and a half. 14 and a quarter. 13 and a quarter, 14 and a half, 15 and a half. I believe this one's 14 and 5/8. Yep. Remember, a saw blade is an 1/8. That's a saw blade. I'm just going to take this and measure up. Go 30. We'll go 30. We'll go 39. How's that? Oh, it's always something. This place is an absolute pigsty. I'm just so focused on getting this done that, like, I'll clean it later, right? Where's that line at? Right there. Okay. Now that is where extra glue support will be. and that will hold that wall in. Now I'm supposed to put a springboard against that, and what I'll do, I'll put a board from down here going straight up 39 inches in, and I'll put my studs above the blue line. So let's get rid of this for a second. Yeah, this trim gun just goes way quicker. I am behind a little bit. Now we just want it to be face flush so that our panel actually touches it, right? This is another thing, you know, when you're in the shower and you bump up against it, that panel won't wiggle free. It's another big reason why that should be there. Because, you know, even if you don't mean to, you know, this stuff happens all the time. Well, there we go. All right. I ain't playing. I'm going to drop a screw in that. Trim gun's great for like just setting boards. But man, that screw just can't beat it. Just can't beat that screw. So strong. Come on now. The battery must be dying. Nope. Okay. That stud moved quite a bit. 14 and a quarter. 13 and a half. 14 and a quarter. 13 and a half. Now, where did my pencil go? Oh, it dropped. All right. Thirteen and a half. Just knock that puppy in. Oh, look at that. Just sits right down on that. Okay. Well, I don't know why that's happening, but that's irritating. Good enough. Probably hitting that screw that I put in. So I'm going to drive that puppy right in there. Give us some love, right? Bring that up to the line. Face flush. Come on now. Okay. Gonna put 2 in it. stop it from wobble. Come on now. Dang. Those nails just weren't playing, were they? I'm gonna take that out. $14.25. Listen to this guy. Crazy as hell.
I was wondering what movie I was talking to.
Oh, right here. Well, yeah. This place is gonna drive me fucking mental, bro. I can't even go to work. I gotta come here. Fuck in there. Come on. All right. Drop it like it's hot. Did you hear that Iran sent 3 teams to kill Trump? Yeah, so the USA has paid them money to not make a new nuclear bomb, right? And to help them financially. Basically, Islamic extremist sympathizers, the Biden administration. And they made a video of shooting Trump in the head with their robot before they texted him, the killer of Soleimani, Qasem Soleimani, whatever the hell that guy's name was, the general from Iran that Trump blew up. The murderer of Hussein Soleimani will pay the price. And it's celebrating that Iran's going to kill Trump. Come to find out, Iran had figured, the FBI found the guy that planned and helped set up the Butler, Pennsylvania shooting. He's the one who did all of the preemptive measures, figured out where the best place would be, with what gun. They wanted to hold it at a political event. A lot of stipulations on this, that this Iranian detective came in here and did. They caught him on the 12th of July, one day before Trump was shot in the head. They knew, the FBI knew. They caught this guy with all the evidence, okay? He created a dossier he told Iran who, when, and where would be the best time to do that. And they fucking found him. They caught him a day before. So the FBI knew that this shit was happening. And the state media and the Democrats at their DNC says that he's going to use the media, he's going to use the justice system and the FBI to go against his political opponents They are doing the same thing. So basically what you can count your money on, I'd cut my balls off right now. Anything that they're accusing Trump of, they're worried that you'll find out that they're doing it. So they're saying that he did it first. Just like the kid that threw the snowball at the fucking neighbor's head. Ran inside and said the neighbor threw the snowball first. That way the parent doesn't get mad at the kid for throwing a fucking snowball at the neighbor. Right? Even if he's lying or she is lying, they said it first, so they have to be believable. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. Mass media, mass propaganda. You tell the same thing the same way so many times for so long, people start to believe it, bro. And that's the thing. And that's another thing. Psychologists have conferred, even through years, hundreds of years of propaganda, emotions matter more than policy. Therefore, if they can get people's emotions on their side, that trumps policy to them. Policy can go out the window when emotions are involved. So what do? They mass sensualize, hyper-sensualize all these critical theory, socialist problems to get people to clickbait and get really angry and only want to listen to them. Mm-hmm. They've got them right under their thumb. You are now my puppet. You listen to everything I say, and you will feel the way I tell you to feel. Simple as that. It's pretty crazy, though. I didn't know that Iran had killers in here, for one, on top of the Democratic Party. But I didn't know that they were going to protect him on the day that Israel blew up the leader of Hezbollah. So the leader of Hezbollah gets blown up. All of their forces are wiped out off the map, right? And the leader of Iran all of a sudden wants to come to the United States of America. He's coming to America to guarantee his life. That's what he's doing. He's guaranteeing protection. He wanted to give his people enough time to have Israel not figure out where he was. They're never going to try to kill him in the U.S. They're going to wait. He was worried that they had him on target. So he got his ass on a plane and drove to fucking United States of America. And guess what? Their Secret Service was swarmed because they had to protect the largest terrorist group in the world that hates America, putting $1,000 per head on every one of our soldiers, giving the Taliban $1,000 for every soldier of U.S. soldier that they killed. On the sly, on the side. They made it public knowledge. They were saying it on their state media. Saying that Trump will pay, Trump will pay. They can't be trusted to hold the West Bank. Israel isn't using the West Bank to shoot missiles at them. But you goddamn trust me, the Palestinians would be shooting missiles off. I mean, you can see the largest airport in 70% of Israel's population just on the West Bank Hill. You stand on the West Bank Hill and you look towards Israel, they're just 3 miles away. It's like looking from here to that corner over there. I mean, you can see airplanes going into the airport. 70% of Israel's population lives in those 3 cities that you can overlook all 3 of those, Tel Aviv and all the other places. They gave Israel the West Bank for protection as a buffer zone so that Palestinians can't stand on the top of their only hill and shoot down on them. And people are saying, save Gaza. American wouldn't last 2 seconds in Gaza. They're killing their own Palestinians for not wearing a fucking cloth over their face. And it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy what they're doing. And what the politicians and what the state media has let them get away with is absolute ridiculous. All right. Sorry, bro. Let's so now that's more like it. Now the shower head isn't right here. It's up higher. It was gonna have to be drilled out of right there. That ain't happening. So this is the nail flange. This is a direct to stud nail flange. You don't want to nail this over your drywall. I suppose you could, but it's not the way it was designed. So instead, I could just strap this whole wall, and I probably should, but I'm not going to. What I'm gonna do, I'm just going to outline I got you, boss. So I've outlined my nailing flange. See, that whole backside sits flush against. I mean, I'll have to drill out the spot for the mixing valve, but I'm thinking where it's 3/4, I can just put 3/4 plywood there and I'll have much better gluing area rather than little thin strips of, you know, especially where we got all that sheathing for free, you know, perfect full square area to glue that shower panel in. But I do need a nailing flange. So let's get a width over here just to make sure that I'm not going crazy. 35. 35 is safe. So that's literally that line. However, that's not safe. Can you come hold this? Just hold that right on that line. Yes, sir. Yep. Now, nope. Hold it right here. Yep. There we go. And I'll put 3/4 inch. Actually, I'll just rip full 2x4s to give it all kinds of nailing power. And I'll frame that out, and then we'll put plywood. Plywood down around the rest. And then we'll install our shower, right? And if I'm not mistaken, that'll work out completely fine. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just box trim around it. It's not bad at all. I mean, at the same exact time, sheetrocking it wouldn't, I mean, just putting strips there wouldn't kill me either. You know, I got all kinds of these strips I can rip to 3/4, or we could cut down, could rip up a bunch of these too. You know, that's only 1/2 inch. It wants 3/4 board. There is 3/4 like that's 3/4. These are, I think that one's 3/4. A lot of it's 1/2 though. That one's 5/8. Let's just go see. Let's go see how nice the gap will fill. Oh, that's, well, I mean, that's still pretty loose. Not bad though. It's not bad at all. I mean, screw that in tight. It won't
matter.
It won't take much out of it. I don't know. I think a piece of trim over that won't look bad at all. Because I usually trim around it anyway. So got all kinds of this. Watch out, pup. Fuck it, why not, right? I mean, for real,
Yeah.
doesn't really matter.
No, it's just gonna.
All it is a shim.
Yeah.
And we've got all kinds. You know what I did with the skill saw? Oh, there it is. Good eye.
Oh, heck yeah.
You pick that stuff up, bub. We'll just put it up on this wire shelf. Fasteners can go there. Okay. I need the drill. All right. You always want to wiggle your hole saw a little bit while you go, and you want to go in and out so you get all them shavings out of the hole saw, or else what will happen is your hole that you drill, the hole that you drill out of, it'll get stuck. The piece of wood will get stuck in the hole saw. It'll be much harder to get it out. Look at that. Can't complain about that. That's nice. It's really nice. All right. So, what should I use? These are a little overkill to go into. And if I go into the stud, I guess it'll be all right. There isn't much stud there. Thing is these other ones are too short. They don't have enough. They don't have enough power to suck the head in. That's what she said.
Damn.
Well, we're getting there, folks. If this was easy, everybody would do it. You got to remember that. It's not easy. That's why not everyone does it. Yeah, I can get down with that, I think. So, no need for glue right now. We'll screw this onto the wall pretty nice. Good and tight, yeah. See, that one didn't go. You can tell when they don't go. They don't sink in all the way. So that's probably good enough. She's on there. Let's fill this triangle in. 16 1/4. (18 1/8). 16 1/4, 18 1/8. Which one shall I use? Probably this one.
So,
All right, guys. What I'll do, I'll get this all sheathed up, and once I'm ready to start installing my my shower, I'll set up another video for us. Thank you for watching. Main Man Squanto, out.